Hey, I'm Jen, and this is Literary Love 123. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing an old school April book tag. So get ready for lots of Gen X nostalgia. Let's go. This is such a fun and unique tag. It was created by Kristine at Secrets Read. I will link her channel down below. And she tagged me. So I'm super excited to have this opportunity to talk about the olden days, right? So I was born way back in 1975. So as I mentioned before, I am a Gen X baby. So let's get on with this tag. So the first prompt is Reading Rainbow. And the question is, what book, author, or series got you into reading? I would say early in elementary school, one of my teachers read aloud from Little House on the Prairie to us every day after lunch. And that's when I first really started getting into reading for myself. And then when we move on to middle school, the Sweet Valley High series, I was hooked on those. And my favorite book from middle school was The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. And I reread that book over and over and over again. And so did my best friend. So we would read the book, cry about it, talk about it, watch the movie. So all of those really helped my early start into reading. The second question is, what author or book got you into your current favorite genre? My current favorite genre is horror, and it has been for quite some time. The author that got me into horror, no surprise here, is Stephen King. The first couple of books I read from Stephen King when I was 14, and the first two that I read are Pet Cemetery and Kristine. My best friend at the time, her mother had a huge collection of Stephen King books, and she would let me borrow those books. And that's definitely where my love of horror started. Although I will say, if I think back also to elementary school, there was a book, and a lot of you may not have heard of this book if you're not from Alabama, which is where I live, where I'm from. But the book is called 13 Alabama Ghosts and Jeffrey, and it is written by Catherine Tucker Wyndham. I will link that down in the description box below. But I read those ghost stories when I was in elementary school, and I was equally fascinated and terrified by them. But obviously, I like that kind of stuff because here I am today, right? Okay, so the third question is mixtape. What was the first concert you ever went to? My first concert, I was 14, and it was Bon Jovi with an opening act of Skid Row. I went with my best friend and my other friend, and my other friend's older brother took us to the concert. And it was amazing. It was a wonderful experience and a great first time concert. The fourth question is, what band or artist do you love but never got to see live? Prince, I would have loved to have seen him live. I grew up, as I said, in the 80s listening to Purple Rain and probably some songs that I should not have been listening to when I was in fifth grade. But nonetheless, I still love Prince to this day and really wish that I could have seen him. I would have also loved to have seen Queen when Freddie Mercury was still alive. That would have been a dream come true. And then finally, I wish I could have seen Nirvana when Kurt Cobain was still here. Now, I have seen Foo Fighters in concert. They're also one of my favorite bands, and they put on a fantastic show. And I was fortunate enough to see Foo Fighters before drummer Taylor Hawkins passed away. So I'm happy that I got to see them before he was gone way too soon. And the next question is, I always feel like somebody's watching me. What was your favorite cartoon while growing up? The old Scooby-Doo, the original old good old Scooby-Doo. Again, when you think about that, that certainly could explain my love for horror too, because of the whole mystery and the creepy vibes from the Scooby-Doo. That one definitely stands out as one of my absolute favorites. Another one that I enjoy too as a younger child is the Smurfs. I did like the Smurfs too. So the next one, still with this prompt of I always feel like somebody's watching me, is name a TV show or movie that is tied to a good memory. Okay, so back when I was in high school and college, when I was still living at home, my mother, my sister, and I were all completely obsessed with the soap opera Days of Our Lives. It was the years with Stefano, John, Marlena, Bo, and Hope, all that stuff. So I always have fond memories when I think back on Days of Our Lives, because whenever, of course, my mom would have to go to work every day, and my sister and I would be in school, and we would set our VCR to record Days of Our Lives that day. Yeah, see, dating myself, like I said, I was born in 75. So all the Gen X stuff here. So we would record, set the VCR to record Days of Our Lives. And then we'd all get home and eat dinner and watch that day's episode. And that brings back a lot of good memories for me. The next one is name a movie from childhood that you still love today. This movie has not aged well. It's definitely problematic. I am a feminist scholar, and I have a lot of issues with the movie, but it's nostalgia, I guess. And that is Grease. Yes, Grease. Change yourself to be with somebody else, right? All that terrible messaging in it, but I still love the movie. What can I say? The movie and the soundtrack, I don't think I'll ever stop loving Grease. And tied to that, name your first TV or movie crush. John Travolta in Grease. I first saw the movie when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and my aunts and uncle took me to the movie theater to see Grease. So very early memories there tied to that movie. Again, I didn't, I had no business watching Grease as a, 3, 4 year old, whatever. But anyway, I still love the movie. Problematic and all, still love it. The next prompt is gotta catch 'em all. What was a toy you were obsessed with or collected as a kid? Barbie. All the Barbie stuff. I didn't get the Barbie dream house, and it still haunts me to this day. Thanks, Mom. Never got the Barbie dream house. But what I did get was something called the Barbie townhouse. And it was equally cool too. It had like, I think it was 3 stories, and it had an elevator that was attached to this like little pull string. So you could put your Barbies in the elevator and they could like go up and stuff. So it was cool too. But I loved Barbies. The next prompt is PacMan Fever. Name a board game or video game you associate with your childhood. Pac-Man. Um, Pac-Man, I remember getting an Atari, right, with Pac-Man and Frogger. And then, of course, in the latter part of the 80s, I had that original Super Mario Brothers, and I would stay up all hours of the night during the summer trying to save the princess. So, Super Mario Brothers, absolutely. Those are my icons, Pac-Man and Super Mario Brothers. The next question is, or prompt is, she's got the look. Name a clothing or trend that was popular when you were a kid. When I was in elementary school, the jelly shoes trend, those were the ugliest and most freaking uncomfortable shoes you can imagine. They would leave like imprints on your feet. You would the sweat and the ickiness, but yeah, jelly shoes. When I was in middle school, the whole idea of cuffing your jeans in a style We called it freestyle where I lived, but you probably have seen it before where you would cuff them and roll them up, and it looks ridiculous, but we thought it was everything. Tree torn tennis shoes when I was in middle school. Everybody wanted to have tree torn. Eastland shoes, those were something that was also popular. Um, Denim jackets, parachute pants. Parachute pants. I really just forgot about that until I was just kind of trying to recollect my memories. Oh my gosh, the 80s. Neon, everything neon, right? The louder, brighter, more obnoxious, the better. Good times, good times. And the last prompt is I want candy. Name a childhood snack or candy you wish were still made. Betty Crocker fudge jumbles. I've seen a lot of copycat recipes online for these, but this was like a staple of my middle school years, or maybe like latter elementary school into middle school years. When my friends would come over and spend the night, my mom was known for making these fudge jumbles, and really it was just this Betty Crocker mix. But they're brownies. I think there were different flavors, but the ones that I remember the most and that were my favorite, and it was like a brownie and had like a little peanut butter um something on the top. But anyway, they were so good. If I tasted them today, I might not think they were so good, but back then they were like the best snack that you could ever imagine. Also, something that we used to do a lot of times when people would come spend the night with me, we would make these I've heard people call them something else, and I can't remember a fancy name for it, but it's really lime sherbet with ginger ale. So kind of like a Coke float, except you use lime sherbet and ginger ale. And that was like the iconic summer treat. And that's something I've got some ginger ale in my refrigerator right now. So I think I'm gonna have to go out and get some lime sherbet and make one of those because now I'm feeling super nostalgic for that. And that is all the prompts. I encourage anyone, even though old school April, like April's about to end, but you still have a few days. I'm not going to specifically tag anyone, but if you see this prompt or you see this video and you want to do this tag, please do so. If you're not participating in old school April, the month is almost over, but you can get on in there and do it too. I will link the old school April Discord down in the description box below, and that way you can get more information about it. And if you don't get a chance to participate in old school April this year, then I encourage you to do it next year. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you won't miss a video from me. Thank you.